Hey, Care Partners, Teresa Youngstrom. Hey, so are you caring for someone right now? Your spouse, your parents, maybe a sibling. And, this can be really challenging. And you've heard me say before that you are going to have to bring in help if you're at home or you're eventually going to have to go somewhere because this is a really hard job and it can take you down. And I just wonder if you've looked into services around your community because I'm excited to bring you someone that I found in my community when I was caring for my own mother and when I've worked as a nurse in this area for a long time. So I'm excited to finally have on the podcast my friend and colleague, Jennifer Harcourt. Let me tell you about Jennifer. So she's the director of community services at Clermont Senior Services, where she's worked for 10 years. In her current role, she oversees several departments, including transportation, home delivered meals, lifelong learning, adult day services, and the volunteer department. I mean, do any of those things sound like they could help you in this season of giving and sharing and caring with someone? Jennifer serves as the executive committee on the executive committee of the Clermont County Safety Net Alliance and has held many volunteer leadership positions throughout the years. Jennifer is a Miami University graduate and was born and raised in Clermont County, graduating from Williamsburg High School. She and her husband have one son who's currently serving in the United States Army, one daughter, and one granddaughter. Oh, I love being in the grandparent season. Please help me welcome Jennifer Harcourt.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Of course. Finally, it's so great to have you on here. We've
Yeah.
worked together off and on over the years, and always great stuff. And I just know you serve so many and have been impressed. I think Clermont County is exceptionally blessed with all that you guys are able to provide out there. But I still want my listeners to go and search and look in their areas and see what they can find because they might just find a little gold mine like we found with Clermont Senior Services. And so let's talk about that. So,
Yeah.
what does Clermont Senior Services do? Tell my audience.
So, our mission is to keep people in their homes as safely as possible for as long as possible. We know that it's very important to aging adults to be able to stay home with things that are familiar. Their dignity is very important. So, we try to offer services to our community to allow all of that to happen. So, everything that we do at Clermont Senior Services is under one roof, which is very important to us. Our customers, for the most part, are all case managed, so they have somebody that follows them through their cycle of care. And we do have a continuum of care. So a lot of times people start in Meals on Wheels. So they just need some food assistance. So once a week, we deliver meals to their home. Sometimes they need assistance with transportation. So we'll make sure that we're able to get them to the doctor. We just have a lot of different services, and I can go into more detail with those different services if you'd like. I don't want to have a filibuster on here, but
No, we're here to learn, definitely. But well, let's start with who's eligible for these services.
so we specifically serve Clermont County, and any resident in Clermont County over the age of 60 is eligible for our services. That's our overarching eligibility criteria. For each service that we have, sometimes those eligibility guidelines will be different. And the way that we explain that to people is we usually tell them to call our intake line. She knows everything about all of our programs. You tell her what your needs are, and she'll kind of assess over the phone what you might be eligible for. And she walks you through all of the different services. Once that has been established, then we will get a case manager to come to your home and they'll do a more in-depth assessment. And from there, you'll be plugged into our different services.
So going back, I know that my audience is going to want to hear about your specific services. So go, let's go there. We've got
Yep.
time and I really want to hear about it because there's great things happening.
Sure, absolutely. So I've got some notes here if I look away from my computer.
Absolutely.
We have
That's
a
all.
lot of services. So, um, first and foremost, I mentioned our Meals on Wheels program. So that gives the customer the option to order meals. They come frozen in a box once a week. So our customers have over 30 menu options. We allow them to choose the meals that they like, and then we have either a staff member or a volunteer deliver those meals once a week. The nice thing about that is that, if you're a caregiver and your loved one is getting meals, they have somebody coming into their home. We have eyes on that person at least once a week. We also do what we call shelf stable meals. So in the wintertime, if we were to close for, weather or something like that, it's rare, but it has happened. We provide that person with a box of meals that will get them through the times that we can't get there. So they're shelf stable. They're, not, you don't need to heat them. You can just eat them right out of the package. So that's something that we do in the wintertime. Usually we're getting ready to make our shelf stable deliveries in October, or end of October, early November, our first round. Another service opportunity that we have is transportation. A lot of people need help getting to and from their doctor's appointments. One of the most life-saving treatments that we help people get to is dialysis. Mm-hmm. So 3 days a week, we're picking people up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, taking them to dialysis and taking them back home. We do door-to-door service. So our drivers will get off the bus, come to the door, help the person get onto the vehicle, and then do the same when they get to the doctor's appointment. Our vehicles are, we have wheelchair lifts, so we're able to take people with all accessibility needs that they may have. But we also take people to business appointments, so the bank, the grocery store, all of those necessities. We are fully staffed with a large fleet of vehicles, so people just need to call. Right now we're about 3 days out, and they can make their appointment, and we'll make sure they get where they need to go. One of our other services is home care. So if you're needing some personal care, somebody needs some assistance with their hygiene needs, maybe they need assistance showering safely, we can send somebody in to help them take a shower. The case manager will assess how often those services need to be given, and we'll send an aide into the home, and they'll help them do those types of things that are harder for people as they age. We make sure they're done safely and they're kept sanitary, and that's just another way we can keep them in their home. Moving on, we have lifelong learning centers, which are the senior centers of the past. So we have 2 centers in Clermont County. One's in Miami Township and one is in Union Township. And those are social centers. We offer a lot of different classes that people can take at each of those centers. We do not transport to those centers at this time, but people drive themselves there. Any class you can imagine, we offer. There's painting, there's Tai Chi, there's tap dancing. People can come and play games. They play billiards. We have bingo. You have done several presentations at our centers, so we offer educational opportunities there as well. At our Miami Township Center, twice a week, we do what we call congregate meals. So if people want to get together and have lunch with their friends twice a week, we bring in meals for that to happen. I should say all of our services are donation based. Mm-hmm. So we don't charge an outlandish amount of money for any of these services. Depending on what service you get, you'll get a statement in the mail that says this is your suggested donation. If you can pay it, that's great. If you cannot pay it, that's also okay, and we'll continue to serve you. Through the way that we're funded, we're able to make that happen. We are funded through the Clermont County Services for Seniors Tax Levy. And that goes back to our history, which I can discuss later, but that's the reason that we're able to make all of this happen. We do provide adult protective services in the county, so we help to investigate and prosecute those cases with the court in Clermont County. We offer volunteer guardians. Mm-hmm. So if there is an elderly person in our community that does not have anybody to help them make healthcare decisions, we have people who step in and volunteer to be that person's guardian. All of that is done in conjunction with the probate court in Clermont County.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really, really important service that a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
We have our adult day service program. So if you have a loved one living with you and you need to go to work during the day, but they can't stay home safely, we will come and pick them up at their home. We'll bring them to our center here at our administrative office. We give them breakfast, lunch, and a snack and programming all day long. And then we bring them home at the end of the day. A lot of our customers in that program have some sort of memory loss or need some extra socialization. Some of them are stroke victims, but it's a great place for them to come, and we try to keep their brains engaged and we try to keep their bodies engaged. And it's, the health benefits of socialization are vast. So we've seen that with that program. We have subsidized senior housing. So we have 7 subsidized senior properties. They're located strategically through Clermont County, and the rent is based on 30% of the person's income. We have a long waiting list for that. Senior housing, affordable senior housing is a great need, not just in Clermont County, but everywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that we offer. I think I hit on all of our programs. That was a very high level view of what we do.
Yeah, and it's just so diverse and so incredible. And I think a lot of people don't know about these treasures that are right over there in Clermont County. I'm thinking of a woman that I helped take care of. An absolute highlight of her week was when the bus pulled up and she could hop in and go to Walmart. I mean, that was the highlight of her day. And it was so great. And then I can think of another family that I worked with. We and you guys helped also. And he had dementia, but he needed dialysis. And the bus would pick him up, and it saved the wife so much. And it also gave her, a couple of hours to get some things done and just have some peace of mind. She knew he was in good hands, good care, and that everything was being administered properly and that he would be brought back to her driveway. And so great. So the stories go on and on about folks that you have helped. And I love, too, that there's no insinuation with your senior center that it's for special needs or for dementia patients or for nursing home type. There's nothing derogatory about that. And I think you guys really have scored big on that. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think families really appreciate that because in my world, plenty of people that have memory loss don't see their deficit.
Right.
And they don't see that their need to be taken care of. Right. And so it's so great when they come there. And I know we've talked about this, let them think they're a volunteer and let them set tables and let them, help pass out whatever activities going on and things like that. And we can really make that work, that relationship work. Okay. So tell me, how can someone get connected to Clermont Senior Services? What's the best way to go about that?
So the best way, if you have specific questions, is to call our intake department. That number is 513-724-1255. You'll get our receptionist, Robin, and just let her know that you want to speak to the intake coordinator, and she will route you to her. Her name's Holly. She does a great job of, like I said, going over all of our services and seeing what you may or may not be eligible for, or, what's appropriate for you or your loved one. We have a website, ClermontSeniors.com. We are getting ready to launch a new website. So this one's kind of old and dated, but you'll be able to find all the same information on it. So that's coming up soon. And we also have a Facebook page. So we do advertise a lot of our events on our Facebook page. A lot of people communicate with us through Facebook, and we're seeing a lot more of our people that we serve, our customers, who are active on Facebook. They love to see their pictures. They love to see, all of the things that are going on in the community. So that's another way that people connect with us.
That's so great. I'll make sure I get all that information in the show notes too, so that people can check that out. So are there opportunities for, say, volunteers?
Yes. So we do have a very large network of volunteers here at Clermont Senior Services. They deliver meals. They go to customers' homes. If the customer can't get outside of their home, we have volunteer shoppers. So a volunteer shopper will call a customer and say, here's my grocery list for the week. And the customer will go to the store for them and deliver it to their home. And that's another way that we have eyes on people who are homebound. we do an adopt a senior program at Christmas, which is my favorite thing ever. So what happens is our case managers will go out to their customers and they'll find out who are the people who need to have a special touch at Christmas time. And we have a little wish list that we put together. The customer goes through and they indicate the things that they might like to have for Christmas. And when you see these wish lists, they're not asking for anything extravagant. They ask for slippers or shower curtains or, gloves. Some people ask for small home appliances like microwaves so they can warm up their meals. So what happens is they turn that wish list into our volunteer coordinator, and the people from the community can adopt those seniors. She matches the people from the community with a senior's wish list. They get to go shopping for them, they get to wrap the gifts, and then they bring them to our office. And we're already getting gifts for this Christmas. Our lobby was full already this morning. And then we have volunteers that deliver those gifts to the people at Christmas time. It's really, really special. And when you see the things that mean so much to people that maybe don't mean that much to us, we take for granted in our lives, it's very, very impactful.
Well, that's huge. How many people would you say that you all buy for?
I believe last year we had about 600.
Whoa,
So
that's incredible.
it really is. I mean, when you look at the scope of what we do, we serve near 4,000 people a year in Clermont County.
Wow.
Our vehicles traveled almost 500,000 miles last year, just taking people to and from appointments and, to the adult day center. So we really, for being a relatively small area, we cover a very large space. I mean, Clermont County is, when you look at a map, Clermont County is very long, sparsely populated in some places, but that's what makes us special is that we have people that live in Felicity who don't have access to a lot of the things near the city, and we can take them there. So without our service, that would be harder to find for them.
For sure. We touched on transportation a little, but what if I need dialysis 2 or 3 times a week?
We do that.
Okay.
We prioritize medical appointments. So
okay, that would beat out my Walmart visit. So
well, you get one, we call it like a recreational visit per month. Because we do prioritize medical, we have to make the other things a little less important, even though they're still important. But we do have customers who get dialysis 3 times a week.
Incredible.
Some of our drivers are getting on the road by 5 a.m. every morning to get people to their appointments.
Wow. Is that 5 days a week, 6 days a week?
We have a major dialysis run 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But some people do get dialysis on the other days as well.
Wow.
But we do have all of our programs are Monday through Friday.
Okay.
We don't have evening or weekend hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that just hit me is our home safety repair program. I didn't mention that.
No.
So we offer so much, and I always am afraid I'm going to leave something out.
Yeah.
Home safety repair is a program that we have to keep people safe in their homes. So a lot of people, maybe they're able to shower, but they just need assistance being safe. So we put grab bars in. We do elevated toilet seats. We do wheelchair ramps for people who might be homebound because they're in a wheelchair. So that's another way that people can volunteer. We used to have a crew of men that just went out and built ramps all week long.
Wow.
So that's another volunteer opportunity, and it's another program that we offer to make sure people are safe in their homes.
That's outstanding. And if I were to bring someone, say for the adult day, how many individuals are going to be there at that time?
We can have up to 42 people in one day. So our ratio is 6 customers to 1 staff member.
Okay.
So we have a very large building. Currently, we're hovering in the 30 per day area.
Okay.
So the staff to customer ratio is really great. We have a lot of different activities that we offer, and the customers have a choice in their activities. So if we bring in an entertainment group and they don't really feel like listening to music that day, they can go in one of our breakout rooms and they can play cards, or we'll have a Bible study, and if people aren't interested in that, then they can go to this room and they can play a game. Or we try to make sure that we're maintaining their dignity and their choices. and giving them lots of opportunities. We have a garden outside with raised beds. So at the beginning of the planting season, our customers decide what they want to grow for the year. They plant it, they harvest it, we cook with them. So we made salsa with everything that they gathered from their garden this
Oh,
year.
isn't that fun?
Yeah. We also have a pond outside. So we have a volunteer who comes, and it's called the Fishing Buddy Program. And so he comes in, and the customers that want to fish can go outside and on the dock that we just had constructed with grant funding, and they fish. And, a lot of times you see people who maybe it sparks something in them. It brings back something to them that maybe they lost. And you see some men who they don't say a word while they're at the program, but when they get out on that dock and they start to fish, it's just like, boom, they're back.
They're back, and you make them feel so normal. You make them feel so, well. And yeah, because, there's a tendency to feel like, oh, I must be weak or I must be unable to do things if, this is where my life is. But I feel like you guys make it feel just so normal. And probably they're building relationships with these other individuals.
They really are. You see a lot of friendships budding. We have a lot of men attending our adult day center, which is a change from the years past. It's usually been very female dominated. And now we're starting to see a pretty good split of men and women. And you see all of the men get together with their coffee and they all, chit chat about their service in the military or, their hobbies. You see the ladies get together and talk about their kids. And it's just really neat to see the friendships that form.
That is really neat. Well, I got a big question for you. What if my person needs help toileting or cutting up their food or something like that?
We do that.
Okay.
So, yes, we absolutely will help people to the restroom. We do help people if they need assistance cutting their food. We also offer mechanically modified meals. We offer renal meals. We offer heart healthy meals. So if their doctor has indicated that they have a food need that we can accommodate, we do that as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many special needs like that. And you do 2 meals.
We do. We do breakfast and then we do a lunch and a snack. So I think for breakfast today they had eggs. Sometimes they have French toast. I don't know. It smells amazing over there in the morning. And then for the meals, we heat those up in our kitchen. They're the same meals that we do for Meals on Wheels. They're frozen, almost, like TV dinner type meals.
Right.
But they've been run through a dietitian service. So we're making sure that they're healthy, nutritious, all of the things that we need to do. And our kitchen heats those up and delivers them each day to the adult day center.
That's incredible. So what would you say of health and safety things that you all have done in people's homes? What have been some of the most challenging things that your guys or gals have been asked to do? Besides building ramps seems pretty challenging, but can you think of a few cases where you're like, okay, this is going to be big?
So our home safety repair program is run on grant funding. So we get funding from the community development block grants, a lot of different funding sources for that program. Occasionally we will have funding that will allow us to do major projects. So we have gone into people's mobile homes before and helped fix things. Some people's homes will have holes in the floor, or they'll need a new water heater, or their toilet has been leaking and their floor is rotted. So we'll go in and make those repairs. We don't always have the funding for that, but when we do, we're able to tackle some of those larger projects. And that's really, really impactful.
Right. And I would think, what is the longest season someone's been able to partake? I mean, have you had someone coming for 5 years or 10 years or?
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, services can start at the age of 60 and there is no cutoff. So they can continue as long as you're eligible for that specific program, you're allowed to have services. And like I said, we are about 70, almost 80% funded through the tax levy for senior services in Clermont County.
Nice.
These people are contributing and they have contributed, through their taxes. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of them.
Right. Is there a financial cutoff? Like if this person Can you make too much money to be able to participate?
Some services,
Okay.
subsidized housing,
Okay. Sure.
there is a cutoff. And like I said, any of those specific questions, our intake coordinator can go over that.
Gotcha.
For Meals on Wheels, there are certain eligibility criteria. If you can drive to the grocery store, you're not going to be eligible for Meals
Yeah.
on Wheels.
I'm thinking specifically about coming to the activities at the center.
Oh, the Lifelong Learning Center,
Yeah. Mhm.
anybody can come. Yeah, that's open to everybody anytime. So drop in. You're welcome to drop in at any time. Our calendar is always on our website.
Okay.
I post it on our Facebook page at the beginning of every month, our activity calendar, and it'll indicate on there if you need to RSVP for something or, if you can just drop in.
Right. All right. I could go on and on. I'm just so impressed with what you all are able to do and the numbers that you serve. That's incredible. My audience needs to know how to get in touch with you. Let's just remind them all the avenues of how to get in touch with you if they need your services.
Absolutely. So our website is clermontseniors.com. Our phone number is 513-724-1255. And then our Facebook page is Clermont Senior Services. Um, I do know that you have listeners that don't reside in Clermont County.
True.
And, if you have a need for someone who's aging outside of Clermont County, you can always contact the Council on Aging of Southwestern Ohio.
Mhm.
If you're outside of Ohio, you can contact your area agency on aging. Each state has area agencies on aging. If you just Google that for your county or your state, you'll be able to locate the services that you need. We're just a little different in Clermont County. So we're really unlike any other county around us. It's just a little different. So
Yeah. And what a blessing to the people in Clermont County. Absolutely.
we're honored to do it.
Yeah. Well, good. Thanks for being here today. I so appreciate you.
Welcome. Should we mention your event that's coming up?
Why not? Why
Happy
not?
birthday.
Yeah.
So on November the 13th, we will have Teresa at our Adult Day Center here in Batavia. So it's located at our office. I'm going to put all that on our website. I'll have it on our Facebook page as well. But she's going to come and she's going to speak. This is a night for caregivers. So the topic of her presentation on November 13th is Family Frustrations When Dementia Moves In. It's at 6 p.m. We're hoping that we're going to be able to touch the people who maybe haven't been able to make it to the afternoon sessions. But like I said, I will put that information everywhere so you can find it. I'm sure Teresa's going to share the flyer as well. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to live in Clermont County to participate. If you're a caregiver or you know somebody that's struggling with dementia, you're welcome to attend.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I really enjoy serving. It's so wonderful to be with caregivers too. They have such great questions and personal needs. And yeah, I'll stay as long as we need to answer all those questions because I really enjoy that. So thank you. Thank you for having me out there. Thanks for bringing that up. I wasn't even going to, I didn't even think about it. So, all right, everybody. What a great day. We learned so much about great senior services care. Clermont County is really blessed, but you can check out for your county and your neighborhood in your state because they probably have services too that maybe you're not even aware of, but that your loved one could really benefit from. So we'll put all this information in the show notes for you. Again, I'm Teresa Youngstrom. We are Memory Care with Teresa Youngstrom, and our company is a better approach to memory care. Thanks, Griffo Productions, for being such an amazing broadcaster. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Keep in mind, you got this.